It's the final point scoring round of the 2020 Chase for the Rainbow Roof for Brisca Formula One stock cars, and almost 40 cars have gathered here at the Adrian Flux Arena in Kings Lynn in Norfolk for this final point scoring meeting to decide the final grid lineup for the big race here in just a couple of weeks' time. Mark Sargeant holds a narrow points lead with the likes of Jake Harry, Junior Wayman and Craig Finnegan chasing hard, and the action should be especially close here this evening. It's a two-thirds format, 3 heats coming up for the Brisca F1s in the first part of our programme. We also see the supporting national mini stocks. Before we get underway, let's hear from our points leader.
Mark Sargeant, we're at the last point scoring round for the Rainbow Roof, and you're currently leading it still.
By hook or by crook, I think. Yeah, we've had a decent bit of form on show with this little lady, and the tarmac job's just picked up a little bit really, thanks to Finn and that, and just helping us out, and one or two of the lads helping us. I said if I'd be there near the end, we'd give it a go, and we're leading, so I've got a target on my back tonight, innit? If I keep finishing, who knows what's going to happen. Let them sort themselves out. I'll try and do my own race, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, you've been national top of the points, leader of the points for what, 7 weeks now?
Tonight's 7 weeks, yeah. The stickers on the side, just for a bit of fun with everybody. Trust me, it'd mean the world if we let him out in a fortnight's time for the Rainbow Roof, as they call it. Who knows? I've picked up a 13mm spanner, so it's going to go one way, innit? So who knows? I don't know. We've enjoyed it. We've had a good laugh. We've given it a all. You know, the fans enjoyed it, and it's in the lap of the gods, isn't it?
Keep hold of that spanner, because if you're top of the points tonight, you'll win a nice shiny toolbox to put it in as well.
Yeah, well, me and Tom's had the conversation. He doesn't need a new toolbox. He's just told me, but Craig Finn might and Frank might, so I don't know. Or even Jake. You know, there's 3 or 4 guys. Lee's not come, obviously, because of the situation, I think, and I know he's not got a shower car, so that's given me a bit more of a gap. Who knows, because the 2 boys are playing the jokers tonight, so I'm hoping they just mess about with each other at the back and we can just disappear into the distance and away we go. But that's a dream sort of scenario. We've just got to try and concentrate and keep finishing.
That's it. Keep it pointed forward, keep the wheels on it and see what happens.
Who knows, you know, 2 meetings left before it's crap Saturday night telly, so we're going to try and enjoy the last 8 races.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Anytime. No worries. Cheers.
Time to go racing then here at the Adrian Flux Arena on the Shale. We begin with a heat for the white and yellow graders, the perhaps lower scorers, less experienced drivers from previous meetings. There's a couple of newcomers out there in this one. Number 31 there, that's Timmy Barnes, making the move up from saloon stock cars. Also out there, number 231 of Lee Pierce, who's raced in a variety of formulas in the past. He starts from the back. How many yellow graders there are out there, a big field for this first race, 23 cars in total. Chat for Jake Harry and Mark Sargeant well up there in the points table for the Chase for the Rainbow Roof at the moment. We're underway over 16 laps. The white tops lead them away. Already a spin there, 192. Luke Dennis goes around. Russell Cooper sideways into the first turn. He's coming under fire from Timmy Barnes, number 31. To the wall there at the back goes possibly Mark Poole, that was in 276. Timmy Barnes, of course, the grandson of the legendary Horry Barnes, who celebrated a 50-year testimonial here at Kings Lynn a few years ago. Push and shove in there. It is Mark Poole who's hit the wall in 276. Here's the battle for the lead. Darren Clark, number 83, attacking the 339 car of Anthony Lee. There comes Darren Clark on the inside. They're side by side. Clark, a former points champion in the Rebels formula. He takes the lead away from 339 Anthony, who had a win here earlier this season. 2 white graders fighting out. There's Keith Pierce in number 58. 541 there, that's Willie Scoyles Jr. Jeff Nichols, the veteran campaigner in 215. We ride on board with Lee Pierce. He's raced about half a dozen other formulas on the ovals in years gone by. Also a circuit racer as well in the Mini Challenge for the BMW Mini. There's a couple of cars go off on the inside behind us there. To see Lee trying Brisca F1. We've got Terry Pierce out in this race as well, and Keith Pierce in the 58. Jake Harry battling it out with Russell Cooper. We've both seen them find success at Kings Lynn this season. Jake Harry, the first winner of this truncated season, and Mark Poole gets lunged towards the back of Lee Pierce there. Didn't quite see who by. On board with Mark Sargeant. He gets some bumper from Phoebe Wayman, who now tangles behind us there with the 502 of Ricky Wilson. Sargeant takes a shortcut. Oh, we've got a rollover. Who's that? Red flag's up straight away. We've got a car upside down on the entry to the back straight there. Everybody brought to a halt immediately. It's Kelvin Hassel, number 13, upside down. Well, we'll see what happened there. Showing a clean set of tyres to the rest of the field. Thumbs up from the marshal. Kelvin's okay. Watching the background, that's I think it's Keith Pierce who hits the tyre, then wallops straight in and straight over goes Kelvin Hassel. Spectacular roll over there, just went straight up and over, hit the outside wheels. It was Keith Pearce's car. Here's the view from inside Kelvin's car, and nowhere to go to avoid Keith Pearce, and over he goes. Goodness me. Thankfully Kelvin is okay. It is Darren Clark with the lead ahead of Ant Lee. Third place is 2-3-4 Terry Pearce. Terry, Lee and Keith Pearce. This one, there's more Pearces than a tattoo parlour in this race. Richard Dickerson in fourth place in the 4-4-3. There's Jeff Nichols, 2-1-5. Ricky Wilson in 5-0-2. And there's Mark Sargeant, delayed early on. Of course, fighting for the lead of the points at the moment, with the likes of Junior Wainman, Craig Finnegan, Jake Harry, as well as we heard earlier. There's 2-3-1 of Lee Pearce. Wrong colour roof, but he is a yellow grader officially. That's why he had to start from the back, presumably. Back underway then. The light starts to fade here in Norfolk. Mark Sargeant in 3-2-6 trying to make his way through. It's 3-3-9 Ant Lee chasing Darren Clark for the lead. Terry Pearce in third place. We've got Jake Harry. Richard Dickerson gets fired in the 4-4-3. He's tangled there with Willie Scoyles Jr. Well, Richard's daughter is known as the Queen of Chaos in the National Mini Stocks, and Richard trying to create some chaos of his own there, perhaps. 5-0-2 Ricky Wilson leads Mark Sargeant further back. Here comes Jeff Nichols attacking Nigel Harry, boxes him into the back of Keith Pearce in the 58s. This is great stuff from our lower graders. Of course, the blue graders, the reds and the superstars join in for heats 2 and 3. It's good to see the promotion here giving the lower graders a chance to have their own race. Bit of smoke there from Mark Sargeant's car. Let's hope engine failure isn't imminent for him. That's a lot of smoke coming from the 3-2-6. He'll try and keep going to get some points on the board. A tangle there in the background. Terry Hawkins gets spun out by Phoebe Wainman. There's a P super coming from Mark Sargeant's engine. How is he seeing where he's going? Look at this from inside his cab. Just hoping for the best, I think, and trying to hold off Ricky Wilson, trying to keep going for points. They're a little further down the top 10. It is still Darren Clark who leads the way. There's Ricky Wilson, the 5-0-2, Mr. Dayglow as we call him. Terry Hawkins trying to rejoin, but goes straight across there. Jake Harry gets spun out by the 2-3-4 of Terry Pearce, and Nigel Harry's gone there as well in the 45. Oh dear, oh dear. Chaos there on the turn. Luke Dennis comes under fire from Timmy Barnes. Well, his granddad Horry was known as the Remover, and he's removed himself there, unfortunately, with that attack. Maybe collects Casey Engelston's stationary car. Well, there's our leader. It's still Darren Clark, number 83. He's raced in Rebels very successfully. He's done Grand Prix midget racing as well. So Formula 2s in days gone by. And now out in the Brisca F1s. Looks like he could be heading for victory in this white and yellow grade Heat 1. He's well clear of Anthony Lee in 3-3-9 in second place. Still smoke from Mark Sargeant's car, but it's not slowing him down. There's Ricky Wilson in the 5-0-2. Terry Pearce is still up there as well. It's Clark with a clear lead, coming around to lap Nigel Harry in the 45. He's got a nice cushion back to the rest of the field now. Made the break early on after passing Ant Lee on the second lap. There is Lee in second place, closing the gap a little. I don't think he's going to quite catch the 83 car. GDM Coolers sponsored car, so needs to keep his head cool here, on board with Lee Pearce. Timmy Barnes gets stuffed into the back of him by, I think that's Nigel Harry. It's Colin Goodswin, the local man, in 3-7-2, under fire from Luke Dennis, number 192. Saw him spin on the opening lap. Coming round towards the closing lap now for Darren Clark. Into his final lap he goes. I don't think Ant Lee's going to catch him. He's got back markers to deal with, and then again so has the leader there. Just hoping there'll be no tangles on the final turn. Here he comes into turns 3 and 4. Lee Pearce in 2-3-1, and Timmy Barnes still there ahead of him. He's just got to clear them. He's done so, and the win goes to Darren Clark. Lee nearly catching him on the final turn. They were delayed by that spinning back marker, Timmy Barnes, in the 31. But the win goes to Darren Clark in car number 83. The rest of them come home. We'll confirm the results in a moment. That was great stuff from the whites and yellow graders. We'll see the blues, reds and superstars. The big guns join in for heats 2 and 3. Well done to Darren Clark, taking the win on track. Unfortunately, after the race, Darren's car failed post-race scrutineering and he was disqualified. So Ant Lee takes the win, 3.5 seconds ahead of Mark Sargeant, with Terry Pearce a fine third. Ricky Wilson fourth, ahead of Russell Cooper, and Jeff Nichols, Austin Moore, Luke Dennis, Lee Pearce and Keith Pearce rounding out the top 10.
Heat 1 winner, 339 Ant Lee. Of course, Darren Clark crossed the line first, but he's failed at the scrutiny for being too low.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's never nice to take a race win that way, but a race win is a race win.
Race win, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we've been working hard on it, so yeah.
Yeah, you've certainly got some pace now in the car. You've found a sweet spot with it. You've been going well. Of course, this is your second win here this season as well.
Yeah, we've struggled in that one. We needed more rear stagger, I think, so hopefully go better in the next race.
Well, that's it. You've got another heat to go. It's a two-thirds format, so what's to stop you?
Well, hopefully we're up there again, yeah. Brilliant.
Well, best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Now the top names join in for heat number 2. There's the world champion Tom Harris, Junior Wainman in 5:15. Needs no introduction at all, of course. Matt Newson, number 16. 55, Craig Finnegan, the European champion. Just some of the names to look out for in this one. Also, welcome back Mick Sworder in car number 150, out for the first time in a while. He's in among the red tops. Whole clutch of blue graders as well, plus some of the names we saw in heat number 1. 16 laps were underway for heat number 2 here under the floodlights of the Adrian Flux Arena. There's Mick Sworder, the number 150 car. We're on board with another of the red tops, Paul Hines in car 259, coming under fire from the 335 of Mark Woodhull, getting past Frankie Wainman Jr., Little Ted Wainman as he's known, in 555. Really a bit of push and shove, and wallop straight in goes Mark Woodhull in 335, getting past the blue graders now. James Morris is one of them there in 463, so Paul Hines making good progress early on. Now with the smaller wing on his car, it's Mal Brown, number 34. Early leader, I can tell you, is Ant Lee in 339. There is Mick Sworder. Great to see him back, racing alongside his son Charlie. He's in among the blue tops, had a couple of wins this year already. Junior Wainman attacking James Morris. Yellow graders already scattering all over the place ahead of them. And the welcome returnee we caught a glimpse of there is Sam Makin, 93. And also this man, Joshua Smith, who we ride with now, number 191. Now to Brisca F1 for about 5 years. Been racing in other formulas, including Rebels. Jake Harry, 345, needs a good finish here to keep his points challenge alive. There's Mal Brown, the 34. The reason he's got that smaller wing on the car, if I remember rightly, his big aerofoil was wrecked at the last meeting here at Kings Lynn. Sideways there as he attacks Paul Hines, our camera car, and Tom Harris, the world, British and national points champion, coming through behind. On board with him now, coming under fire from Junior Wainman. He's got himself caught up there, and Harris has spun. Round goes the number 1. Tom Harris with a spin will drop him back towards the rear of the field. He's got to start all over again from the back. Meantime, here is the battle for the lead. 339, Ant Lee from 502 of Ricky Wilson. They've pulled clear of the rest of the field. Not so many white tops in this one, mainly yellows and higher graders. Ricky Wilson, one of the yellows, takes the lead down the home straight as they cross the line. It's 502 Ricky Wilson who leads it. Jake Harry third, Josh Smith fourth, Austin Moore in 127 is fifth. See most of the white graders out in heat 3. 50 Mick Sworder attacking Terry Hawkins in the 275. We saw him get spun out in heat 1. It's V8 Hot Stocks racer. The other ex-V8 man, Paul Hines, coming through in 259. To have Mick Sworder back, he's been attending truck shows over the last couple of years rather than racing his Brisca F1. He has taken part in some demonstration events at the likes of Rockingham Motor Speedway with his F1. Been taking his Volvo truck to shows around the country. Letting Charlie get on with the racing side of things. Charlie is somewhere down this lineup in the number 5. Sam Makin under fire from 127 of Austin Moore. No longer Smokey Joe, he's sorted out the problems with his car. It's Ricky Wilson, 502, who leads as rain begins to fall here at the Adrian Flux Arena. It seems to have rained at some point in every Brisca F1 meeting in 2020. You know it rains every time at Skegness. It certainly did at Buxton on visit this year as well. 502 Ricky Wilson isn't phased though. He continues to lead. He hasn't had a lot of luck this year. He had a big wallop straight in at the last Kings Lynn meeting. Looking to make amends here. Paul Hines having a good battle with Mick Sworder. Behind them Terry Hawkins and the 127 of Austin Moore. They're under fire from Craig Finnegan, who's had a quiet start to his evening so far. Ross Matt Newson, incidentally, he's out of the race, was an early casualty in the number 16 car. He'll aim to make amends in heat 3. Wilson and Lee clear at the front of the field. We're on board with Josh Smith, battling it out further back, battling with Michael Scriven in the number 12, who's going through there on the inside. Behind us, Sam Makin, good to see him back in the 93 car as well. So 1 or 2 returning to action tonight. Returning to good form is Ricky Wilson, number 502, the man from Sheffield. clear of Anthony Lee. Another good placing on the cards for him. Inherited the win in Heat 1 when Darren Clark was disqualified. Paul Hines lunges at mixed order but can't quite connect on his rear bumper. They're coming round to start the final lap this time around. There's little Ted Wainman in treble 5. World champion behind him, number 1 Tom Harris. Here goes the midfield. With Paul Hines looking back. We're on the last lap now. Terry Hawkins gets some bumper. Paul Hines finally gets ahead of Mick Saw, who's been trying all race to pass the 150 car. And it's going to be a win for Ricky Wilson. Here he comes. I don't think he's lapped anybody either, looking at the live timing. There's no cars gone a lap down except for a couple of retirements. Well, there's the checkered flag. There's an interesting stat. Ricky Wilson hasn't actually lapped anybody. Ant Lee coming in second. We'll confirm the rest of the places in a moment. Tom Harris quite a way down the order after his early spin, and Junior Wayman was delayed in that as well. So there weren't really a lot of place changes in that one. The battle between Mick Sauder and Paul Hines we saw. But everybody who finished has finished on the lead lap. An interesting statistic there. Wilson the winner ahead of Lee by 1.3 seconds. Michael Scriven it was who took third ahead of Jake Harry and Josh Smith. Sam Makim taking 6th. Paul Hines just beating Mick Sauder home. Craig Finnegan only 9th ahead of Terry Hawkins. Then Junior Wayman and Tom Harris 11th and 12th. Frankie Wayman Jr. 13th.
Heat 2 winner, 5:02 Ricky Wilson. Before the meeting we were joking saying I brought you a box of painkillers. Such has been your luck round here this year.
Yeah, it's not been the best, has it? Turn 3 and 4 always seem to eat me up. But yeah, I do appreciate you bringing me some painkillers, but the only painkillers I'll need is for this smile underneath here at the minute. So.
Stock car racing is highs and lows, and obviously you've had a lot of lows this year, so this makes up for it.
Oh, we've had too many lows, yeah. I mean, we didn't really want to come today. My daughter sort of forced me. And I'm so glad we have. I am so glad. But yeah, we're on a bit of a high, but I don't want to get too giddy because you never know what can happen next. So.
Yeah, and the weather's changing now as well. It's starting to rain, so it could get a bit tricky later on.
Yeah, I could feel it last couple of laps when it was raining. It was really like slippy. And we just put it all on to dry, so I had to start just winding them off a little bit. But yeah, it's going to mix it up a little bit next couple of races.
And you didn't get a chance to relax either. You had Ant Lee on you all the way, really.
Yeah, you were a couple of car lengths behind, wasn't he? A mistake and he'd have been on me and he'd have took the win. So.
Well, get it ready for the final, and the painkillers are still in my pocket if you need them.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate that.
Getting ready for heats number 3 with conditions somewhat worsening. These drivers in their second race of the day. 5.24 Jason Cull is the man on pole. Darren Clark looking to make amends for heat 1 alongside Reds and Superstars. Further back, Tom Harris looking for better fortunes this time. Unusual to see the 2 Wainmans and Tom Harris finish outside the top 10. That's what we saw in Heat 2. There's Paul Press at the back of the Blues, 491, failed to finish Heat 1. Mick Sauder in 150. Bunch of yellow graders, including Mark Sargeant. Timmy Barnes back out in the 31. Josh Smith heading the Blues. Beside him, Kyle Gray. Good to see him returning to action tonight as well, number 124. 372 of Colin Goodswin is going to reach the start line. He's been spun out already. We see from the camera on Jeff Nichols' car here, you can see how slippery it is out there. Well, it's like being at Skegness. 83 Darren Clark leads them off then into the rain. Already a couple of cars just sliding out into the fence as they try and get used to the lack of grip. 4 wide there coming off the turn. Phoebe Wayman's in the middle of that. Mark Sargent's been delayed as well. Jeff Nichols got through it in the 215. The Beard, as we call him. Not to get caught up there on the outside, battling away with the 45 of Nigel Harry. He's sent out wide and walloping straight in there. Terry Pearce in the 234, on board with the young gun Kyle Gray. Got caught up there with Michael Scriven. A complete mess here coming off the turn. They're trying to get through on the inside. Sam Makim's in there. Mark Poole. Oh, it's like the A14 on a bad day. They're all stuck there. Tom Harris has got through though, round the outside of everybody. There's the car park on the inside. They're just desperately trying to find some forward motion there. On board again with Jeff Nichols. He's got Craig Finnegan being given a tow. Now Craig trying to join him in the cab. That's no way to say thank you for towing him, is it? Stuck together there, solid. There's somebody else stuck to them there as well. I'm trying to see who that is. That might well be Junior Wayman, in fact, in the 515 that's got stuck in with them there. I couldn't quite see the number. Here's the battle for the lead. 83 Darren Clark has it at the moment. Oh no, he doesn't. Spun aside there by Russell Cooper, who takes it up in the 415. Had 1 win earlier this season here on the Adrian Flux Arena Shale. Then goes straight on at turn 3. Sam Makim on the inside in the number 93. He chooses to spin Colin Goodswin out for the second time in this race, and Cooper has the lead. Who's coming through in second place, I'm not too sure. Try and look further back. I'm not sure Sam Makin's on the lead lap. I think he was in that pilot. Charlie Sauder wallops Josh Schmidt straight in there. Paul Hines going well in 2.59. There's Charlie Sauder. Josh Schmidt going for revenge. Slip and slide their way round. Tom Harris in behind them. He's going well in the number 1. Driver who copes better with the adverse conditions than many. On board with Mark Sargeant in the 3.26, battling with Mick Sauder. Crash, bang, wallop once again. Sauder, I think, has pulled off to the inside. I didn't see who hit Mark Sargeant there. He's battling his way on. There's Junior Wayman in 5.15. Keith Pearce is just bouncing round the fence on the outside in the 58. There's not going to be many finishers to this race, I don't think. And this is just heat 3. Wait to see what happens come the final with the slightly bigger grid. The blue graders pulling off there. I think that's Kyle Gray in the 124. Well, there's your leader, Russell Cooper in 4.15. And he hanged on to the flag. Craig Finnegan bounces off the fence. Still leading the way is Cooper as Michael Scriven comes under fire from Junior Wayman. Somebody slowing there in the middle of the pack. That's Jeff Nichols in 2.15. One car with collapsed front suspension there at the back, as sliding about is Scriven in the 12. Try and pick up the leaders in just a moment as Keith Pearce goes off there in a shower of sparks. Here's your leader. Russell Cooper has been caught though. Tom Harris straight down the inside into turn 3, and Harris takes the lead. So Harris, your new leader. As you can, well, I was going to say, as you can see there coming through turns 3 and 4, there's so much muck on our camera lens, you can't really see anything through there. One car stopped on the outside of turn 4, I can't tell who it is. Harris now picking off the back markers. Junior Wayman picking off everybody who can get in his way there. It's Frankie Jr., little Ted Wayman, who stopped on turn 4, broken front suspension for him. Tom Harris pinballs a couple of blue graders out of the way. Speaking of pinball, here's Jeff Nichols, and somebody did a wheelie into the marker tyres and wallop. Jeff took a fearsome hit there. I think that might have been Mark Sargeant who crashed into him. You can see here from Charlie Sauder, it was him who did the wheelie as he hit the tyre there in the background. Goodness me. That's taken Charlie Sauder out of the race. It's certainly, I was going to say, it's certainly taken Jeff Nichols out, but he's rejoining. Tough man is Jeff Nichols, long-time Brisca F1 racer. Harris gets rid of Lee Pearce in 2.31, says welcome to Brisca F1, Lee Pearce. Here's Matt Newson, didn't get far in Heat 1. He's up among the leaders now. I think he's in second place now, in fact, ahead of Paul Hines. We'll check that in a moment. No, it's Willie Scoyles, 5.41 there. Willie Scoyles Jr. second, I apologise. Third is Matt Newson, fourth is Paul Hines. Mark Sargeant is in 5th position. Russell Cooper is down to 6th, but it's this man, Tom Harris, mastering the conditions like no one else, out in front. Casey Engleston's pulled off the second race in a row in 1.20. This is great stuff from Tom Harris. Masterclass of wet weather driving. Rain is forecast to get worse this evening, so who knows what he'll face come the final. Well, he's had so much bad luck at Kings Lynn, he's blown engines on more than one occasion at this venue this season. Is he finally going to allay the Kings Lynn curse with a victory here in this Heat 3, Tom Harris? He's on his last lap now. Here he comes down into turns 3 and 4. Junior Wayman ahead of him, almost a lap behind. Give him a tap there through the last bend as he takes the checkered flag. Fight is on for second place on the way to the line. Scoyles has been caught by Matt Newson. It's a run to the line between the two East Anglians, and Newson just gets there on the line. Paul Hines is 4th, and I think Mark Sargeant rounding out the top 5. We'll check that in a moment. But a masterclass there by Tom Harris, winning by a clear margin, a very clear margin over Matt Newson, who just pipped Scoyles to second place. The winning margin over 7 seconds. That's half a lap for Tom Harris. Paul Hines 4th ahead of Mark Sargeant. Paul Press taking Russell Cooper late on for 6th. Then Mal Brown, Mick Sauder and Craig Finnegan rounding out the top 10. 15 cars going the distance in that wet heat number 3.
Heat 3 winner, number 1, Tom Harris. We've just witnessed something rare there, a shale win this season.
Yeah, I've managed to finish and it's not blown up, but yeah, car was good. Lucky in Heat 1 to get spun round, but stock car racing, and yeah, it was really good.
And it looked like, just before you went out for the heat, it looked like you were changing a shock absorber?
Yeah, we changed a few things on it, different engine, different characteristic of an engine, and car weren't quite right. It was fast, but just not right, so changed a few things, and yeah, it was really good.
The conditions have been tricky. It was dry at the start, then it got wet for your Heat 3. Let's see what the final and Grand National bring.
Yep, let's see if we can do it again.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Despite the slightly deteriorating conditions, the Brisca F1's putting a great show on here at the Adrian Flux Arena, as they always do at this final point-scoring meeting in the chase for the rainbow roof ahead of the finals. We'll have more action coming up for you after this break. Don't go away.